Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with the 100 girlfriends that really like you. Season 2 episode number 3 reaction. So the previous episode we had Kurumi, uh, her breaking the ice with all the other girls, and like for that to happen Rentaro made them go and participate in a food eating competition. And at first she was like, oh, I don't need anyone, I can do it on my own. But by the end of it she realized the importance of like working together. And yeah, that was basically the whole episode. We got to see the different girls as different, you could say, abilities. They used their own, like what they're used to kind of, they applied that on the competition in itself. For example, we had what was her name? The quiet girl, Nano, I think. Yeah. We had her kind of, because she was efficient. She kind of like just was swallowing the food, and each of them had their own, like, quirkiness in the whole thing, which made it interesting. And by the end of it, yeah, like Kurumi realized that, and yeah, there you go. That's what happened. Let's see what happens today. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. Three, two, one, go. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, this is her past. Yeah. Why? Okay. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. Nah. Oh my god, that's why. I was like, how are they going to even wear it? No, definitely not. We still have Conan stuck in his, young form. He still hasn't been able to come back. There you go. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Bruh. Right. Oh my gosh. She's going to say, like, I have some for you as well. Or maybe not. She's going to say something sensible for once. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Right. Why? Yeah, what is that? That's some kind of drug. Okay. Bro. Um oh right, that was the thing. Wait, so you don't drink it, you just throw it on others? Like what? Ugh. There's nobody to keep. Uh, yeah, one of them is your mother. Yeah. Bro. Right. After 1 hour. Oh, yeah. There, I guess that's how adults look like to kids, yeah. Like when you're a very small kid, that's how it seems like. Oh my god. Yeah, oh god, she's got, and yep. Yeah, alright. Okay. Oh no. Okay, right. Lethal strain. Okay. Hey yo, calm down. Okay. In the dream? Right. Oh, hey, what's with her face? Okay. Oh, they'll get scared. Yep. Okay. Well, yeah. Oh, I guess this she'll realize her mother's, what she went through to raise her. That whole thing. Oh my god, these two are throwing. Okay. Damn. Yeah. They're gonna fall on their head. Yo. Um. Damn. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'll have to continue this for 1 hour. Damn. Wait, what? Wasn't it going to be 1 hour? Why is it evening? Oh boy. Yeah, like I said, she's going to understand her mother's perspective now. Yeah. Mm. Okay. Oh yeah, that was not part of the plan. Well, you saw them, but I guess you don't remember properly. Yeah. Oh god. Wow. Mm. Yeah, a bit too much. Oh, regret. Uh, mm. Oh, she's going to. Okay, no. I thought she was going to say something weird again. Oh my. Yeah. Oh boy. You know what? I think just something that I'm thinking. I wonder, did she eat it with his eyes? If there'll be a plot point later on where someone who is not one of the destined ones for Rentaros falls in love with him, what will happen then? If something like that happens. Yeah? Queen of Jungle? Okay, here we go. I think this girl's gonna become one of them. Yep. Why are they introducing her then? Damn. What? That is crazy. Oh, yeah, there's a huge possibility she will be one of them. She still hasn't opened her eyes and looked at Rentaro. I just realized that. Oh no. What? Okay. Right. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be now, but probably later down the road. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a mystery. What? Yeah, that's what all the characters do in manga and anime. How did that come from? Yeah. Okay. Bruh. What? Um. Yeah. Okay. Was she trying to scare her or something? Yeah, that's what she was trying to do. Yeah. Um. Wow. Okay, yo. Oh, okay. Oh, right. While stabbing her. Yeah. 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 And she kind of poked it a little bit. Oh boy. Yeah. I, I don't think you need your eyes to do that. Yeah, the ears, the dog ears. She wanted to eat it. What was in it? Okay, well, never mind. Yeah. Oh yeah, that is a crazy sad statement. It already is. In a way, indirectly, you could say. Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh God. Oh boy. Wow. What? Uh, well, one thing you can do, you can, you know, use a. No, I guess he's talking about. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Oh. Oh. That's how she laughs, Kusuri. Damn. Ah. Tunani na to. Yeah. Oh, that was okay. That'll make her laugh probably. Hey yo, rain. Ah, there you go. I knew it. I knew it. It is actually rainbow colored. You would also not want to love her. Oh. Right. So she actually couldn't see up until now, as she said. Wait, she wasn't in the opening. Was she there? I guess that was a surprise. Damn. Or maybe not. I don't know. But it will actually. Right. As you wish. What? Yeah, so she wasn't in the opening as well. Meido May? That's her full name? Right. Yeah, she's not there in the ending either. So it was just one of those where they kept it hidden. But I feel like it's not really a secret at this point. Like any character who will have a defining character design, just assume that they will be part of it. Like, just, I feel like you should automatically assume that. Like, she had an actual dedicated character design. And you need to keep an eye on the name as well. If the name is something like pun related, like, yeah. I guess not necessarily. The names don't really matter. Like every character here in this show has like fun filled names. But yeah, this is one thing I was saying. I wonder if that'll be kind of interesting if they bring a plot point like this in the future where a girl who's actually not destined to be with him actually falls in love with him. Like there's no, like, that whole thing that happens, like that lightning thing that happens. That's not there. But normally, you know, I wonder if that's going to happen. And if that happens, what is he going to do? Like that would be a very interesting, like, that's it. A very interesting, what do you call it? Like a curveball. Like, up until now, it's all the characters that like him and have a, destiny with him that got attracted to him. But what if someday someone who doesn't have that, like normally starts liking him? What about that then? What's he going to do? Is he going to reject her or like what? Yeah. But I guess that'll kind of, if that's the case, that'll go against the whole 100 girlfriends. It'll become more than that. So there's a possibility the show will never do that. But again, it'll be a very interesting, like, like a curveball if something like that happens in the future. But anyways, right. Today's episode, we had the whole baby, like the section where they become like little kids by getting that the drug on them. Not only that, the section kind of showed us how Hakari, who was kind of feeling embarrassed by her mother's antics, realized how her mother must have felt like, like when she was a kid, and as she was growing up, what problems she might have to face, other stuff, and yeah. And not only that, her mother also had to, she was like like a big, uh, like a, like she had a job as well, which was pretty damn important. And she was like the whole, like the leader of like, so that combined with taking care of Hakari, all that stuff, realize how tough it must have been. And yeah, there you go. That's how she could come to an understanding eventually. But in the end, her mother still goes crazier. So she's still a little bit skeptical about the whole her mother's problematic behavior. But all's well and good. And then we had the whole maid situation with, because as they said, she wasn't really there, like in the opening either. And I was looking at her and I was like, I think I felt this in the previous season as well. I didn't react to the previous season, so obviously, like I wasn't able to say this. But when I watched the previous season, when I saw her, I was like, there's a possibility she might actually become one of them. But the fact that she has still not opened his eyes, that I didn't clock at that point, at least. That I clocked today, because when they were talking about her eyes, I was like, oh yeah, that's true. She hasn't opened her eyes still. There is no, like, like that's why that whole lightning thing doesn't hasn't happened. Right. So I think this wasn't really like a, this wouldn't be like a big surprise to most people, because I'm pretty sure by that point everyone would realize that she would become one of them as soon as she introduced herself and everything. And yeah, like there you go. um so that is Meido May. I think that was her name. Meido May. um but anyway, I'm just going to call her Meido. It's way easier to remember like that. Right. But obviously she is loyal to her mistress, and she was like, oh no, I'm not going to do it even if it kills me. But when Hari was like, oh, you should put your, happiness above my orders, and then she was like, okay, fine. uh yeah. So I wonder what Rentaro will say. I'm sure he'll like accept it, but how he accepted, that's the question in the next episode, because it seems like he's thinking about something in the end. Yeah, and it turns out her eyes are actually rainbow colored. Oh my god, that's funny. Okay, yeah, and was there anything else today? No, so she wasn't in the opening or the ending. That's why you could say it was a surprise that she would be kind of, introduced now in this episode. Because I don't know, I was expecting one of the other girls to be introduced today. Maybe like the Ojo-sama looking girl, maybe the other girl, the one who was like, okay, from the looks of it, it seems like there's three more girls who will be introduced after this. One of them is the Ojo-sama looking girl. Then we have the other girl who I think she's like a like a tomboyish type of character who like who loves doing like exercise or sports or something. That's like she seems like a sports girl or something like that from what I've seen in the opening and the ending. And then we have this other girl whose eyes are kind of hidden by her bangs. I'm assuming she's like a shy type of girl or something. That's why her uh, eyes are hidden with the bangs. And I guess for her, the fact that her eyes are kind of hidden by her bangs will become a plot point, and she probably wouldn't be able to see Rentaro properly, and they'll probably realize that she actually likes Rentaro uh, later on when the like that whole thing. I don't know, but I feel like her banks will come into play some way or the other. But the one that I'm the most like looking forward to is like the Ojo-sama looking girl, because yeah, there are nearly not enough Ojo-samas in animes, which is such a shame. Right. Okay. And yeah, that was today's episode. Was there anything else worth mentioning? Let me see. Oh, the different ways they were trying to make Meido open her eyes was funny. And Rentaro did the whole, kind of made this, made up this, not made up the scenario that actually happened. And he kind of made her imagine that, which made her open her eyes. And that is when everything happened. Bam. I love the fact that the whole rainbow colored eyes was kind of like just went along with it, but the main focus on that whole scene was the fact that the whole thing happened, that lightning thing happened. That was like the main thing. Up until that time, we were like, oh, is her eyes really rainbow colored? And then that we kind of focused on, and the whole rainbow colored eyes kind of went under the radar a little bit, because we started focusing on that after that. But yeah, rainbow colored eyes, crazy. Oh boy. Right. And yeah, that was today's episode. Good episode. Now let me talk about this episode scene by scene. In the very first scene, we can see Hahari or Hakari thinking about her mother, how her mother is so dignified, so this and that, all that stuff. And there's a little flashback kind of scene where we see her walking and little Hakari coming in and interacting with her. But now Hakari's like, now look at my mother's state. This is what it is. And her, her mother is like made baby clothes the to like make others wear it. And Rentaro, at first Rentaro was thinking like, okay, like I'm just going to wear it by just pushing forcing it in. But they're like, no, obviously not like that, it's going to tear like that. So the plan was basically to use Kusuri's medicine to infanticize them, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. And yeah, then put the baby clothes on them. And when everyone was like, oh no, like obviously they were skeptical about it, Hari starts throwing a tantrum, and Hakari got pissed off here. Hakari's like, what is wrong with you? You're my mother. Like, stop acting like this. Act your age. I love the fact like the cat was just sitting there, and while Hari was throwing a tantrum, the cat wasn't really perturbed by it. But then when Hakari started screaming, the cat got scared. Like, what the hell? Oh. But anyways, and yeah, this is where everyone was like, damn, she's actually pissed. Like, this is like actual anger she has. Yeah. Anyways, and Kusuri did a big brain move here. She tried to distract everyone by throwing the damn potion to the cat. As if the cat is going to catch it. The cat's not a dog. It's not going to catch it. It's just going to run away from it. And dogs also need training to do something like that. You can just throw stuff at a random dog and expect them to just catch it and bring it to you. Neither can you do that for cats. Just throws it, the cat runs away and just and turns out I thought the potion was supposed to be ingested. You can just throw it anywhere, and that in itself will do the job, I guess. Oh my god, that is some crazy drug she had created. Like, you can just put a few drops on someone and they're just going to become a, yeah. Anyways, Um, I feel like they could have snuck in a Detective Conan joke here. Like, like I was thinking, like, but they didn't do that. That would have been pretty funny. Right. Anyways, so yeah, the only person like Rentar was close to at that point was Hakari. That's why he kind of shielded Hakari. So Hakari was fine, but everyone else became little kids, and there you go. So they're like, now what? So obviously, nothing else you can do about it. You just have to, like, make them wear the clothes that they have made for them, and they did that. And at first they were like, oh, this is like so cute and everything, and Hakari was also pretty, like happy about it, and she was thinking like, oh, like it seems like we're married and all. But then they realized little by little that, oh, it's all not fun and games. It's not just them being cute. They are actually kids. They're gonna do weird stuff. Like everyone was like going their own direction. We have wait, what happened first? Oh yeah, we have Shizuka first getting scared by Rentaro because obviously, like in front of little kids. I guess, obviously, like I don't think many people remembers what they felt like when they were kids because infantile amnesia, I think that's what it's called. The fact that you don't remember most things when you're kids. A lot of people do remember, very clearly, but that's kind of rare. But I think this whole thing is called infantile amnesia, the fact that you will forget what has happened to you up until certain age. Up until certain age, it's just a blank in your head. You don't remember anything, and then you suddenly remember little bits and pieces of what happened. Yeah, you might remember a few like incidents, but you don't remember most of it. That's what it is. So most people probably don't remember, but I would assume this is how it feels like when you're a little kid, like a toddler, just walking around, crawling on the floor, and you suddenly see like an adult like this big talking to you. Like the way they showed that, it seemed like the voice was like booming, and it was very like slow motiony, and that's probably how it was felt like. They might have felt like giants. That's why like kids in front of strangers, stranger adults, they get spooked, and unless and until it's your mother or your father who you are used to, like yeah. But anyways, that's how Shizuka felt like at that time, and she started running away, trying to. Rentaro went and kind of grabbed her, and then immediately we see. Wait, who was that? Who was sucking on Hakari? Was that Nano? No, that was not Nano. Oh, that was Kurumi. Yeah, that makes sense. She wants to eat everything. That's why. So she starts sucking on her. Oh my god. And yeah, and then distracted by that, we have like Hakari not being able to do anything after that. Rentaro goes and tries to fetch the other babies. Like Nano was going to go out of the roof through the door. So Rentaro tries to stop her to do that. And then we have Karane as well, like trying to suck. Oh my god, Hakari. Oh boy. And then we have Kurumi and Karane starting squabbling with each other because they're not happy about the fact that they're intruding on each other's space in this whole situation. Not only that, obviously Karane has a thing for Hakari. That's why as well. That's also another reason. Right, and they start just just doing this with each other. Hakari kind of like raises her voice a little bit. Obviously, when if you're an adult, that wouldn't really be a big deal. But they're kids, so they got spooked out at that. It starts crying. Oh my god. And then we have Hari coming in, and at first she was thinking that Hari's trying to pull her hair or something, but no, Hari was trying to kind of pat her head, you know. And this is where she kind of thought about, like what her mother must have felt like. Oh, before that, she almost dropped the other two on their head, but Rentaro comes in and stops them from falling on their head. And then he repeats that whole like scenario to make everyone laugh. So by the end of it, as they were like all asleep, Rentaro's face was so bloody it had to be censored. Anyways, yeah. And this is where Rentaro tells Hakari that, oh, your mother must have, you know, felt like this as well, but at the same time, she also said that you as a kid you were an angel, and yeah, and I would also assume that as a kid, Hakari probably wouldn't be as um I don't know, like mischievous as the others here, because everyone here you could see they have their own quirkiness. Hakari, in that sense, you could say she wouldn't really be. She, as we saw, she was just a nice kid. So that probably helped Hahari as well. In that sense, like if your kid is not that mischievous, you'll have a way easier time to deal with their antics than an extremely mischievous kid who like runs off anywhere at any like point of time whenever they can. You have to be very yeah. So she must have had easier time with Hakari as well, but at the same time, still it must have been a lot of job as a single person, um like trying to care for her, and like, yeah, and on top of that, juggling her work life as well, yeah. And Hakari kind of realized that, and she was like, oh yeah, you're right. In the end, they come back to their original size, and Hari's just like unhappy about the fact that she also became a kid, so she doesn't remember anything of that much. She wanted to be the only one who's not a kid and take care of the others, not like this. But anyways, so she's making, like crying and throwing a tantrum here, and this is where Hakari comes and apologizes, and she's like, "I'm sorry, like I shouldn't have acted like that. If you want to catch up on what you have missed out on your youth, now's the time to do it. So it's fine." Anyways, Hahari immediately like is like, okay, so got some more babyfication medicine in, like, and then Hakari's like, God damn it, yeah. Anyways, that was the first section, cute little section, and then the next section we had, um, the whole like maid section, yeah. So that part we start with everyone enjoying lunch on the rooftop. Damn, I'm just thinking this rooftop is going to be crowded by the end of it. Imagine 100 people. I think they'll have to change places by then. They'll probably go to a field somewhere, like an open field. This roof can probably hold like 20 people, maybe 25. Not more than that. When it goes above that, they'll have to relocate somewhere to meet up with each other. Probably it'll be a big field or something somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Right. So, anyways, like I went on a tangent. So the whole conversation comes up when they were talking about, like, like when Kurumi was eating, and they were like, "Oh, your eyes kind of really shining when you're eating." That is where they kind of move toward look at Maid. Okay, wait a minute, what's her name? Maido, I think, or Maido May. Maido May, yeah, that's her name. So she's 19. What? Okay, right. She looks like 24 or something. Like that's how she. I guess like it probably makes her look more mature because she's wearing like a maid costume and everything, and she's quite tall as well. Right. Okay. Anyways, wait a minute. She's 19. How old is Hakari? I'm assuming like 16, 17 or something. She's just older than her by a couple of years. Damn. Right. She actually looks like an adult. I wouldn't expect her to be 19. Like what? She looks like 25 or something. Anyways, well, anime characters, you cannot guess their ages. Oh boy. Right. So everyone then like kind of shifts their eyes towards her, and they're like, "Oh, we've never seen your eyes." And this is where the whole rumor brings up, comes out that apparently her eyes are supposed to be rainbow colored. And then they talk about the whole, like, like thing in manga and anime about how anime characters don't. There's a few of them who don't really open their eyes. So how do they look at, like, see stuff? So you can see here Meadow tries to open her eyes because obviously her Hahari wants to see her eyes as well, but she cannot. She has been like this in such a state for so long that she's just like this. And I love the reasoning behind her keeping her eyes closed is because it seems like it makes her like a lot more like as if she's smiling gently towards you, that type of face she's trying to make. So she's always kept her eyes closed, and she's kept her eyes closed for so long that's it just got stuck like that. So and she's now obviously she's very very loyal, and she's like, oh, my mistress has ordered me to do it and I cannot do it, so I'll rip open my eyelids. Oh boy, but everyone's like, nah, nah, calm down, it's fine, like, but not she wants to get it open. Anyway, so everyone decides to try and see how they can make her open their eyes. Each and every one of them has their way of trying to do it. um oh no, before that, that whole section comes in where they ask about how she can see. So she kind of demonstrates. A random ass spot comes from the sky. Who knows who did that? Probably God. That's the only person I could think of who did something like that. Threw that pot on at that convenient timing, and she came and just stopped it. And so apparently she actually cannot see. Like she hears, she listens. That's how she does it. Oh boy. But yeah. Um. Okay. So then they try to kind of make her open her eyes. She's got her eyes first by trying to startle her, but it doesn't really do anything. Everyone's like, "Oh, that's so cute." And then we have Kusuri trying to use a drug, obviously, but no, they're not using it because it's going to just wipe out her whole face, so they cannot do that. Um, then we have now Nanos using the box cutter, but she kind of retracts it before it hits her and tries to startle her like that, but it doesn't work. It does work, but to someone else, like Shizuka starts crying seeing that. Then we have Kurumi giving her food, and everyone was thinking that the food had like something like some kind of spicy ingredient in it. It's going to make her so startled that she'll open her eyes. No, it was just a normal bun. Kurumi thought that it's so tasty that she's going to open her eyes because of that. But yeah, turns out that's just her. Right. Oh, I love the fact that the maid first asks Hahari about permission to eat it, and Hahari's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead," and then she eats it. Right. Okay. And then after that, Hakari's plan was basically like she was like, "Oh, what makes her happy, and whatever makes her happy will probably make her open her eyes. What makes her happy? Happiness of her mistress. So what makes Hari happy? You know, getting close to the Renta, as she said, Rentaro and the others." And you can see Hakari pushes Karane towards her, and she's like, "Oh, there you go." And I love the fact that her reasoning is like, she's like, "Why don't you do that to your mother?" And I feel like, what's funny? I feel like her reasoning, it being incest, is so like out of the box, because the first thing you would think there is just a mother, like kissing her daughter. But she is the one who twisted that whole thing in that narrative, that whole way. I never would have thought it up like that at all. She's the one who brought it up and made it weird. I guess it's just a mother kissing her daughter, like, come on. But she's like, no, she kind of made that weird, and, like, that's why. And then she pushes Karane towards her. And Karane was like, obviously, that's her mother, so, she looks the same, almost the same. She smells the same, almost the same. Like very resemblance. The resemblance is uncanny. So yeah, she was actually going to do that, but before that, Hakari kind of pushes her out, and she's like, "Ah, don't do it, really." uh, then Rentaro's saying, "Hakari, I know you're jealous, but you shouldn't throw her." Yeah. Anyways, and then we have the other two, Shizuka and Kusuri, trying to like smother her by both the sides, and Hari going crazy about that. And now it's time for Rentaro to think. So Rentaro is thinking like, okay, so what can I do to make her open her eyes? So he says here, um, so he's like, make her laugh, but not smile because she's already smiling, laughing. When you're gonna laugh, eyes are going to pop open, that kind of thing. So he's like, we have to make her laugh. But how do you make her laugh? That is, as he says, okay, this part I need to read this part because I understand his logic, but um, he says that let me tell you about a funny mistake, and he talks about like Kusuri senpai, and like like did like a little brain teaser. So it was whole wordplay jokes. So Tororo Yam, they were talking about it, and as they kept saying it, excuse me, and he was like, oh, you know what, talking about Tororo, I want to rewatch Tororo no Tororo. I think that's what he says. um yeah, Tororo no Tororo, because he was saying Tororo, that's why Totoro kind of became Tororo. So Tonari no Totoro to Tororo no Tororo. It happened. That's what he said. So that was kind of a funny mistake he did. He mixed it up. And she's kind of smiling, like a bit chuckling and listening to that. But then Rentaro came up with the curveball. And he's like, now just imagine that being Hahari. That was not me. Here we go. That wasn't me. Right. It was Hahari. And that made her open her eyes. And as soon as she did that, two things happened. First and foremost, rainbow colored eyes. Second, the whole crack thing happened. And yeah, it was pretty obvious at that point that she will be one of them. So, it wasn't really a surprise. Okay, anyways, so the reasoning behind why she opened her eyes was, as Rentaro says, okay, let me read this part. Since her constant smile is a show of loyalty, I figured she would also not want to laugh at her own mistress, which would force her to stop smiling. Oh. Oh, that's why she opened her eyes. Okay. I still don't understand his logic, but I understand his logic, but I don't understand the reasoning behind it. But anyways, basically he said like since she's always smiling, and she wouldn't want to laugh at her mistress because that obviously will be a show of disrespect. To stop that, she stopped smiling because to counter it, she stopped smiling, and that's why she opened her eyes. Anyways, yeah, but the main thing in question here is like she starts blushing, obviously after seeing Rentaro, and the whole crack thing has happened, and Hari notices this, and Hari's like, "Oh, really? Like, is that what's going on here?" And then they're like, "You know what? At this point, whatever, sure." But Meido's like, "I can never harbor feelings for my mistress, Hari Sama's lover." Like that would not be okay. But Hari then was like, "Oh no, come on, like put your own feelings above it." And then she's like, "Okay, sure," like I accept it. Yeah. But then the episode kind of ended with Rentaro being all startled and everything. Right. And there you go. That was today's episode. Secret heroine, a hidden heroine. Like I feel like um this whole like the kind of like like punchline here was that the fact that they didn't show us or made us suspect that she's going to be a heroine. I don't think it was that much of a like thing because I pretty much guessed she was going to be one. I just thought she was going to be introduced later because the opening didn't show her, and I guess a lot of people will probably also be surprised about the fact that she was introduced this quickly because I'm sure most people have understood by now that she was going to be one. again, a dedicated character design. That means she's going to be the one. And she was shown in the previous season as well. So, the thing that people might be surprised at today, which I was at least, the fact that she was introduced currently, because in the opening we don't see her. And that's why I also assume that even if she's introduced, she'll be introduced later, not now. So you could say in that sense that was the sort of surprise that we got. But the fact that they said like hidden heroine is kind of funny because if you play like visual novel games and like stuff like that, obviously there are a few characters who you can immediately realize that, oh, these girls are the heroines. You can like can kind of go to their roots and get to their ending. But sometimes some games introduce a character who you don't know that you think that that character is a side character, but underneath all spoilers there is a possibility of that character becoming one heroine. And I think that was the whole joke here, like a hidden heroine. That does happen sometimes in visual novel games and like and stuff like that, where you unlock that character suddenly as you keep going, that kind of thing. So yeah, this was basically that in that sense, a hidden heroine. Yeah, but anyways, that was today's episode. Funny episode. Another character joined Rentaro's group. Yeah, let's see how this goes. So that is it. That was episode number 3 of 100 Girlfriends Who Really 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 Like You, season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of this show. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.